Well, good afternoon. It's been a while since we've done a quarterly update video, but here we are going into the second quarter of 2015, and it's just a good time to take a break and give you a review of everything going on in the department, talk about some of the budget requests, and then at the end of this video, I'm going to spend some time to talk about the fire department physical process. So first of all, let's talk about Station 10. It is on track. It is on schedule. We opened the bids yesterday, and that will be going to City Council for the GMP, which is what we call the Guaranteed Maximum Price, hopefully April 21st council meeting. We will then break ground right after that, and we're on a 10-month build-out schedule, still projected to have a March 2016 opening down on the peninsula south of town. I don't know if you've been down south in the past 6 months, but it is exploding with growth. The new apartments, the new townhomes, we have new streets going in. So Station 10 cannot be here soon enough because it is needed. The Fire Department Gala is now set for November 14th, 2015 at the Arlington Sheraton. Remember what we talked about. We're doing our grand gala or the Fire Department Awards Banquet every other year, and then in between years we will have a family-oriented picnic or some type of family outdoor event. So the gala is set for November 14th. Go ahead and get your vacation, get your trades. We already have 30 rooms booked. We need to know if you want a room, please get with the Hearts and Hoses group so they can reserve some more rooms, because it should be a grand time November 14th. Right now we're in the middle of hiring for Fire Station 10. I don't know if you're aware of this, but we have already hired 9 people off of this current list in the past 6 months. Half of those 9 people are in school at Tarrant County. 3 of them come on board actually this Monday, and the rest are already filtering their way through our paramedic system to arrive onto shift. When we open Fire Station 10, we will hire 18 more firefighters to complete this transition for a total of 27 people. We are also anticipating 3 more openings between now and the end of the list, so we may end up hiring 30 people off of this list. We have not hired that many in a long time, if until 1999 when we opened EMS. So it is transformational for our department and actually adding about 15% more to our personnel. Promotions. The promotional test is in early May. It is for drivers and lieutenants. The captain's test will be later this year. We're projecting, and right now this is a bookmark. You can't really hold me to it, but for a early December date. The promotions will include Fire Station 10. You have my word. Drivers, lieutenants, you will promote because of Fire Station 10, and we probably won't make those promotions until the station gets closer, which would be February or March of 2016. Just to touch real quick on the budget, just so you know what we've requested. New fire engine 4 has been requested. There is an asbestos study going on at Fire Station 4 now. We have to raise the header. We have to lengthen the bay. We tried to delay this as much as we could, but engine 4 is getting so old, and we cannot wait for the new Fire Station 4 to be built. So we're going to go ahead and modify Fire Station 4 now and purchase the new engine. Qt 10 is already being designed. Med 10 is being purchased. The EMS committee has recommended that we try a new brand of ambulance called a Horton. We have decided to try that brand. We will purchase a new Horton ambulance this coming budget, and it'll probably go in the center of town, so it'll get some use. So Med 10 will get an ambulance. It may not get the brand new one, and the new Horton ambulance that we buy will probably come to Station 3 or 5 or something in the center of town, so we can get some use out of it. Stations 3, 4, and 6 are still in the CIP. They will be moved. They will be rebuilt. That is 2017, 18, and 19 respectively. Just blink, because it'll be here before you know it. We're getting into 2016 planning. We're already into the budget process. I know 2017, 18, 19 Sounds like a long way away, but believe me, it'll be here before you know it. We've also asked for only one staff position this year, which is in EMS. We recognize EMS is our bread and butter and what we do. And Randy does need more administrative help in the office with the subpoenas, the legal requests. So we're asking for an administrative position in EMS, and right now that is the only one we're requesting. Other little things we've requested are our EMS jackets, additional computers, SCBA masks, many tools. There's over $1 million of requests in the budget. Guys, you got to understand, Fire Station 10 is costing the city about $1.5 million in personnel cost. That is year after year after year. Hiring people are expensive. So we have to take in mind and balance our requests, understanding we're opening a new fire station. Parks needs items, IT needs items, the golf course needs items. So we can really only request truly what we absolutely need, and that's what we tried to do this year. Irving Training Center, I do not know how many know this, but it's been put out, it's the battalion chiefs and the command staff know. We have a signed agreement with the city of Irving to build a joint fire training center. It will be in the city of Irving at Highway 161 and Beltline. It's about an 8-minute drive from I-30 in George Bush. So it's very accessible to all of our stations. It will be 50% owned by us, 50% owned by Irving. We'll have a 5-story tower, a classroom, and plenty of concrete to do a lot of our practice evolutions. It'll have a hazmat pad as well as many other special ops types of pads. Right now we're in the planning phase. We should be done with design in about 2 months, and the goal is to kick off construction this July and hopefully be done March or April of next year. So we will have a state-of-the-art training center. While it's not in our city, it's still 50% owned by us. Sharing resources by cities is a way of the future. We think this is a win-win for both the city of Irving and the city of Grand Prairie. So more will come out about that, but that's the direction we're headed on training. The next thing I'd like to talk about, and it's the final thing I'd like to talk about, but probably the most important thing and the important message I want to get across is the communication that's been about the fire department physicals. I want you to understand a little bit about my history and why I'm really wanting us to come in line with what most departments are doing. Since 1996 through 2012, I have worked for an agency, a fire department, that has provided fire department physicals for their staff. Since 1996, every year I have gotten a full medical physical, blood work, chest x-ray, the whole gamut. After I turned 40, I was given a stress test year after year after year. I've been tracking my vision, I've been tracking my hearing loss, I've been tracking my body fat slowly going up, I've been tracking my cholesterol, which has never been above 160. I've been tracking my plaque in my arteries through the body scans. I've been tracking my chest x-rays. That is the system I have been raised in, and truly, you must understand, this is the norm in the fire service. So when I got to Grand Prairie, we did not have that. And many of you brought this up during the interviews, that wellness and our health and well-being is really important, considering the 2 firefighters we lost to cancer in the past 3 years especially. Some of you asked, why now, Chief? Why now? We're trying to study for promotions. Why is this being done now? You got to know we're in budget season. This is going to cost our budget only about $50,000 a year to do complete physicals for our entire department. I can't just surprise the city manager with this request. I have to be prepared. If I was to just put this in the budget and not said anything to our department, one of you out there would have seen this in the budget document and then would have thought I'm trying to sneak it through the department. The only reason we're talking about this now is it's purely a budget request, and we need to vet out all the arguments so we can be united come October if our city leaders do budget this for us. I also want to dispel some rumors that are being going out in our department, and they are harmful, but I want you to hear it from me that they're not factual. There's a discussion that every 20 to 24 year employee that we're doing these physicals to try to rid the department of this tenure group, because if we can get rid of them now, the city won't have to pay for their retirement. Unfortunately, whoever's out there talking about that has to be the most misinformed employee we have. The city is committed to the retirement fund. Every year they pay into it. After 5 years, every employee is invested. So that little argument, it just cannot be true, and there is no truth to it. And I would request that when you hear those conversations, that you squash them immediately, because they're really just false, and they're being done to create harm. Another thing that's going around is, yes, in 2013, I presented to many departments, and I believe it was Houston, at the Civil Service Conference on fire department and police department physicals. There's a PowerPoint out there in internet space that many of you can get your hands on, and some of you have. I presented that at a Civil Service Conference mostly to police departments, because the police departments aren't near as advanced when it comes to physicals as the fire departments are. And 90% of that audience were fire and police associations. They were the employee group coming to me, coming to the seminar to learn how to start physicals. They weren't chiefs trying to start physicals. They were the employees wanting to start physicals. So yes, I have been an advocate of this since 1996. I do speak on it a lot because I'm passionate about the health and well-being of our employees. The other topic is, why can't we use our own doctor? Think about that. We're about to be 220 employees. I send you out to 220 doctors with 220 different standards, with 220 different opinions. You cannot standardize a physical by going all across Dallas-Fort Worth using different doctors. We need one doctor with one standard, with one facility, so we can get consistency. Plus, that doctor is going to get to know you and your history. That doctor will not be your personal doctor. You will always have a relationship with your own physician. What the fire department doctor will do will give you a set of data, your blood work, your results, and if there's something askew that it needs to be corrected, you're then referred to your own doctor. The fire department doctor will never treat or diagnose. He will only inform, and that's the way the system is set up, and is set up in many departments. I want you to know this is the national standard. International Association of Firefighters endorse it. International Association of Fire Chiefs endorse it. The State Association of Firefighters endorse it. We are one of the few departments in the entire Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, if not the state of Texas, that is our size and our complexity that we're not providing fire department physicals for. This is the standard. I am 100% being Grand Prairie unique. We do things here that I'm extremely proud of that many departments don't do. This is not one of them. We need to take care of our people. We need to worry about our health, and fire department physicals is the way to do that. One of the final arguments I want to discuss that I keep hearing is, Chief, this is my body, this is my health, it's none of your business. I want to tell you that if you were behind a desk, if you're an attorney, if you're a cashier, if you're mowing yards, if you're doing many other occupations out there that don't impact the citizens, I would totally agree that that is your health. The difference is you are impacting Mrs. Smith and Mrs. Smith's family. That citizen who needs you needs to know that you're at some level of minimal medical fitness. Not only does Mrs. Smith need to have that assurance, but that person riding beside you in that fire engine, that firefighter riding behind you in that fire engine, or that officer sitting in that front seat, everybody needs to know they can count on each other. And having that small assurance that you've had a medical physical and you meet the minimum standard helps everybody go home tomorrow. I do not want to do a line of duty death because somebody in our department who has 95% cardiac blockage has a heart attack in a fire. We need to determine that well before the fire occurs. So, in final words, I want you to ask, give me a chance on this. We have a committee set up. I've offered a 3-year plan that we can slowly implement the physicals in our department. There will not be a pass-fail. It is purely information for you and your doctor. After 3 years, and we've received everybody through this process, certainly we're going to get back together and figure out a better way to implement some of the standards that are out there. I am not an NFPA 1582 guru. I cannot verbate the standard. That is not the standard we're going to use. But what I can tell you is that is the standard across the nation, and there are key aspects of that standard when it comes to blood pressure, cholesterol, and some of those critical numbers that we need to monitor. So in summary, again, I'm asking you to look at the truth, keep an open mind. 80% of our department wants this, and about 20% does it. But unfortunately, I'm having to spend 80% of my time on 20% of you. And I'm asking 20% of you to give this a chance, realize this is about your health and well-being, and that is it. There is no agenda. And come on board, jump on the train. Let's get this through the next 3 years, and I'll promise you the success stories are going to be remarkable. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you again. Here we are, April of 2015. The year will be half over before you know it. Jump on the train because we're moving forward, and enjoy the ride. Thank you.